Hey guys, welcome back to Doc Loyal Talks Comics, and this time we're going to do something a little bit different, something I haven't done in quite a while. We're going to look at a comic book based movie, TV show, etc., etc. So tonight we're going to talk about the first opening volley, the first 3 episodes of The Beauty. I haven't seen this, even though it came out in January. I'm just now catching up on it. But it's based on a comic book, and at first it seems very superficial. Ryan Murphy is the guy who did this show as far as adapting it for TV. It was originally based on a comic book written by Jeremy Haun, and I was thinking at first it had that slick production of Ryan Murphy, the same kind of production as American Horror Story, American Sports Story, I think he did too. A bunch of different things for FX. I can't really think. I think Ryan Murphy had something to do with Glee, although I never watched it either. But point is, this show seemed to be simply about the lengths that people will go to become beautiful. A lot of people get focused on looks in life. They want to be the most beautiful version of themselves to other people. But the question comes, at what cost? Because you have to think about that there's always downs with the ups. So if you get a shot and it makes you beautiful, or in this case, it's an STD, and you may not even know that you're catching it, because the person who gives it to you may not tell you that you have it. But it's kind of like a cocoon. You will go and start sweating profusely, begging for water, begging for sustenance. Eventually you'll go into a cocoon like a butterfly, and then you come out the other side and you're more beautiful than you can imagine. Okay, like in the first episode, this doctor was talking to this heavy-set African-American male, and he's explaining to him, he says, I can make you beautiful. All I got to do is change up a little bit of your bone structure, and you'll be fine. And that wasn't good enough. He looked better than he did before, at least to the outside eye, to women, to the populace in general. He thought he looked better than he did when he was in his, original form. Well, the only problem with that was it wasn't quite good enough. He looked better and he felt better about himself, but he was at a bar getting a couple of drinks. He went out there and danced with some ladies. They danced with him. They didn't laugh at him. They didn't make fun of him. But he ended up getting sick after drinking and going into the bathroom. And when he comes back out, they're gone. They have skedaddled. So he's handsome, but not handsome enough, in his opinion. So he said, he went back to the doctor and he said, you got to do something else. And so the guy says, okay, it's going to cost a lot of money, but, you come with me to this hotel room. And then this beautiful woman comes in, makes love to him, and then he sheds his skin and turns into something, his most good-looking version of himself in his own eyes. Well, that's what you think it's about. And I was like, see, this is why I don't watch reality TV. Because reality TV tells you that you have to be gorgeous, you have to be tall, you have to have lots of money, you have to have all of these things to reach that pinnacle, that top bar, that success bar in life. And would I love to have unlimited funds so that I could go out and always be working on this house for my family, always be buying more new and interesting old Silver Age and possibly even a Golden Age or 2 comics so that I have some more to talk about on this channel, provide myself and my family with the best transportation, the best food, the best of everything. Would I love to have that infinite pocketbook? Yes, I would love to have that. But at what cost? You know, I work hard, as do a lot of other people, to make the money that I make. But at the same time, I'm not getting any younger, okay? So that goes along with that show too, is I'm going to be 45 in December. So how hard do I want to work to keep up a lifestyle that I may eventually grow tired of? So beauty, the story of the beauty is one of the oldest. It's a story of vanity. It's a story of make me the best version of me that you can possibly make me. And the main character that we're following, I don't remember his name, but the two faces that I do recognize from this show is Evan Peters, who has, of course, been in American Horror Story almost every season. And then they pulled Ashton Kutcher out of retirement, apparently, to do this show. And Evan Peters is one of the cops. He's got a female cop that he's sleeping with, and they're trying to figure out their relationship. And then they have I guess it's a lover's spat, a quarrel, however you want to put it. And she goes off to go sleep with somebody else just to prove that she can, just to let him know, hey, look, I enjoy spending time with you, but this doesn't need to be mutually, exclusive. You go out and sleep with people, but I can't go out and sleep with people. I don't really like how that works. So she goes and sleeps with this guy and ends up getting the STD. And now all of a sudden, boom, she's gone. So he's trying to figure out what's going on with all of these murders and things of that nature. And at the same time, his partner is gone. So he doesn't have any backup while they're I believe they were in Rome when all this went down. So he's by himself, and they're bringing him back to the States to go about letting the Italians and the Romans do what they do. So they're trying to figure out who's killing these people, how is this STD being spread. So now it's turned into a murder mystery. So it has multiple layers, and it's interesting. It's interesting. I want to say the first episode was about an hour long. The second one dropped down to right at 30 minutes. The third one was about 35 minutes. And as you see on the screen, the upcoming fourth episode is 37 minutes. And it says Cooper interviews an assistant editor following a disturbing event at the offices of a fashion magazine in New York City. I think it was, I knew what it was, but now I've forgotten. Was it Elle magazine, maybe? But it's intriguing and it sucks you in. And so now you're like, it seems like there's dirty politicians. There seems like, I'm sure there'll be pharmaceutical people tied up in this eventually that are in the pharmaceutical industry that are trying to make this beautification process stick, even though they know the origins of what's going on, and they're doing their very best to make it seem like it's not as bad as it seems. It's really not. So if you want to check out something comic book related, but it doesn't have a bunch of tights, it doesn't have Superman, Superwoman, those kind of archetypes, but instead it's a very humanistic story, and it's a humanistic story about vanity and how we love ourselves and how we, as much as anybody else, when we look in the mirror, we have to be happy with who we are. And I've had some friends that have had problems with weight gain and weight loss and with body image over the past couple of years. And I keep telling them, you have to be happy in the body that you're in. You may have a few extra pounds, you might be a little skinnier than you want to be. You might not be tall enough, you might be too short. You might be, all of these different things. All of these different things. By the way, not tall enough, and then possibly you're going to be too tall. That's where I was going with that. So, sorry about that, guys. It switched up on us, and that's not what I wanted to do either. So, let's go back. But anyway, that's pretty much the tall and the short of it on The Beauty, and that's for the first 3 episodes. So we'll talk about it more as I go through the rest of this, and hopefully we'll be able to see this show continue to progress, and hopefully it'll have a second season. That would be great if it did. Now we get to see my internet that usually does great, and now it's acting up. Alright, so anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, if you want to check out something that's a little bit different than what you're used to as far as comic book TV shows and things of that nature, feel free to sign up for Hulu or check it out on Hulu if you happen to have the Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN bundle that goes with the sports package. If you've got either one of those, it's 11 episodes for this first season, which is about right for FX. Most new Netflix shows and things like that, they all have 9 to 10 to 11 episodes. There's no such thing anymore as like a 25 or 26 episode season like it was when I was growing up. But anyway, enough being on the soapbox. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of the first, 3 episodes of The Beauty on FX, where you can watch it through Hulu. And hit me in the comments and let me know if you're watching this show, and let me know what your thoughts are on this show. Good, bad, or ugly. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.